Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rochelle. This is Divine Deep Dive. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the behavioral panel have done a video. It's the Amber Heard video. It's the body language of Amber Heard part 3. I listened to this all day and I've been so excited to kind of get my opinion out. So firstly, I'm going to play, let's just get straight into it really, shall we?
We're neutral. We're just telling you about the body language we see.
Same.
And the videos we're watching. That's it. Having said that, here we go. Greg, why don't you tell us about the videos we're going to watch?
Yeah, a couple of things, guys. If you are a survivor of domestic violence, there will be some triggering things in here, so just beware of that because there's some testimony that gets up against that. The second thing to tell you is that we are very cautious and keep our show standards, so we do not cover the most graphic portions of this. So if you ask why not, that's why not. We'll go with that.
Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp, I, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim too of domestic violence, end quote. That's what you said, right?
I was saying it to the man who beat me up, yes. I thought it was preposterous.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Miss Heard?
I could never hurt Johnny.
You're here in this courtroom because Mr. Depp finally told the world that he's a victim of domestic violence. You didn't think he would tell the world he was a victim of domestic violence, did you?
I found it hard to believe that he could or that he would do that, considering the relationship he and I had. I thought it would be crazy for him to do so, knowing what I know we lived through.
I actually find it really hard to watch her. I didn't find it hard to watch Johnny Depp. And one of the reasons I think is this has been really hard for me, especially for my first video. I actually have been in a domestic violent relationship that continues to today through, I'm not going to completely go into it, but I was sued for defamation of character a few years ago after I had gone through a very long journey of discovering that I was in a domestic violence situation. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Like I said, I was actually set up a website as my and did blogs. I worked really hard on it, but it was after I'd done my diploma in counselling and had decided that what I had been through was a gift, and the hurt and the pain was actually something that led me into an amazing career that I absolutely love, that I didn't realise I was actually good at, which was the blessing in the pain. And so anyway, I was sued for defamation of character for doing a website, because in my blogs I had actually written my story, but the majority of my website was about healing and teaching other women how to identify the indicators and to understand ways in which you can rebuild your life after abuse. And that was my main reason for doing it. I don't know how, but this person that I'd been with had discovered the blogs and the website, and I got a letter from a lawyer telling me it was defamation of character. Now, I didn't mention his name in my website, in my stories, but I accidentally put photos of my journey which pictured his face. So I had decided, you know, like, it was another form of abuse. It was, you can't tell your story, and it scared me. And so I tried to fight back because I was a bit stronger by that point. And I put funny faces on and covered his face. But it continued, and I decided the fight wasn't worth it. I was going into uni to study psychology, and just fighting with this person is almost like that. It's giving him like drugs. He loves the fight, and he just wanted to put me down and keep me on the ground, and I refused to let him. So I actually removed my website, didn't continue to fight, it just wasn't worth it, because the reason I was actually doing the website was to tell my story so people could understand you can get over it, you can find an incredible partner, you can move on with your life, you can heal. But the tricks that I used and all the things I put in there was to help another woman understand I've been where they are, that I can teach you how I've done it, and that it's okay to feel these ways, and if you try this, and this is how I dealt with it. It wasn't about defaming this person. I want nothing to do with them, and I still don't. It wasn't about them, it was about my journey and my story, and it was taken away from me. And that's where I feel with Johnny Depp, it's been completely sad to watch and his story unfold. So I get where he's coming from, and I do understand the triggers. This has triggered me after years of studying therapy and counselling and psychology and my own journey. But the triggers are there to remind you of how strong you are and how you can overcome anything if you put your mind to it. And I was terrified to do YouTube. Terrified because I'm worried he's going to find out I'm doing it. And I admit, when I was doing my blog, I was still very hurt, and I still hadn't completed my healing journey. Now that I'm at this was 2019, I think. This is how long I've wanted to do YouTube. But I realized it was forgiveness to that person and letting go. But the story being a part of my journey, it's made me who I am. And I'll never go back to a person like that, but I'm grateful for what he did. He taught me something and pushed me he projected me away from where I was and into an incredible life that I now live. So how could I not be grateful? But I wasn't at that stage when I was doing the blog, I admit, and that's why I'm ready to do YouTube. I'm ready because I've done the complete healing journey. And it's hard and it takes time to recover from abuse. From some of the information in the video may trigger someone that's experienced domestic violence. I'm not on Johnny's side, I'm not on Amber's side. As a therapist, a qualified therapist, and studying psychology, it's so important for you to understand that this is kind of like a scientific, more educated perspective on things, taking out the emotion. What I'm going to go into first is a video that I want to discuss after, so I'm going to put that in now and let you guys know what I'm going to say. Not really. I'm still learning.
A single person there looking around the jury just during these critical points. During the points that a normal testimony, when it's emotional and life-changing, the person would be focused behind their eyes. They would be living in their head, reliving a situation. They'd be way less likely, and I'm talking about likelihood, way less likely to be doing this kind of spraying eye contact around the jury. I think it's interesting, after a year together, at this point, and what she's talking about in the story, this jar of cocaine didn't magically appear.
But I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar.
Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?
She had to be okay with it for a year until this point. There's a lot of disgust and contempt at...
All right, so one of the things I'm going to say about this point that he makes, like she's been with him a year and she doesn't realize the jar of cocaine. One of the things about her personality disorder that she's been diagnosed with is they're drug users, a lot. And I even believe on the stand I'll put it in a minute, but when she sniffs and puts her tissue up and she does I love the behavioural panel. I think they were really nice in saying that I think she might have been trying, and this is an actor thing, because actors actually do these things to make themselves cry, to bring on like sniffles. It could have been like a Vicks, or like, not a Vicks, but something that's similar to create that, to fake cry, basically. I think she actually did cocaine, because after, and I don't know if you've ever done cocaine or you know people that have, but you after, and that's exactly what she did after the tissue incident. Here it is.
The world's fixated. Have you seen Blowgate? There's a video where it appears that she's sniffing something out of her napkin.
Yeah.
What is the best case scenario is that people believe Johnny Depp. That's the best case scenario for him. I think he's probably already achieved that. Johnny comes off pretty fucking smooth, though.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice guy.
Pretty accurate.
So what did you think? Was it like a acting thing? Which I love their point of view. The behavioural panel said it could have been something to bring on, because they have said in majority of the time in a whole year of doing their YouTube, this is the first time they'd put their career in jeopardy to say she's lying. And they bring out some great points, which I'm just about to bring up in a sec with this next bit, meaning you can see the behaviours. So the lies come in when there are different parts. So one of the things they said was, the physical fight, she doesn't seem to have the body language or the right body language signs. But when it's talking about her ego, and I mean, he'll say to her something about she's a disappointment or she's an embarrassment. All the body language in that moment she says those things, not when she's being thrown onto a pool table or onto the ground or the dirty carpet or, this apparent thing where she's got all these scratches and things on her. It's an ego thing. It's the only thing that she showed true emotion was she was devastated when he was calling her an embarrassment, because that's the thing about these people. There's either real trauma in a childhood where they felt inadequate and it's never been dealt with, and they find partners to try and, build that within themselves to find that connection to go, yeah, I'm okay, I'm fine. That's what she does constantly with Johnny throughout the whole relationship. And the toxicity just grows and grows. And so I'm going to get into this next bit now.
Embarrassment and in being embarrassing and somebody being embarrassed.
Oh, I hate ads. I need to get premium if I get serious.
It's the biggest part of this story. And then when she goes back to the violence and says, it hurt my feelings, have a listen to which hurt has the most stress on it. The first hurt, it hurt, has a little bit of fading fact on there, which is Scott's idea of it just kind of peters out, maybe not as confident, therefore maybe not as honest potentially. And then it hurt my feelings. There's a lot of stress on that. So here's what I'm going to say is most likely very accurate about that. There was a lot of embarrassment around this, or feelings of embarrassment, and embarrassment is very, very important to feel. The feeling of you've done the wrong thing, you look bad in front of people and people don't think good of you, that's incredibly important, and that hurt is the most important hurt, given whether there's physical hurt going on at the same time or not. That's the really important hurt. Now, which is it? Is it both? Is it physical hurt and mental hurt? Is it one or the other? I don't know. I got some good suspicions, but I won't say at this point. But certainly the hurt of embarrassment is acutely important and painful here.
Exactly.
And Johnny, I don't remember the words he used, but starts accusing me of kind of telling on him. And
I don't like this girl. It was more the emotional when she was being told that she's an embarrassment. That hurt her more than anything. So I think she had played very well, or tried to play, the role of her life in this. I wouldn't hire her if I was doing a movie. As Johnny said in his testimony, the reason she got Aquaman, maybe because of him and his contacts. So anyway, and I'm not going to go into that. I believe you know, we all have mental disorders, and there are things that we can't explain, we can't judge, even though, you know, we're all just here learning and we all have things going on. So I don't want to hate on Amber. I think this is going to be a very telling time for her. I think it's going to throw her into a deep depression, and I think she's going to have a look at herself. And I think, to be honest, sometimes I believe those things in people's lives are a good thing. So the wheel of karma rotates, and I'm really hoping for Johnny to really succeed in this and really get his life back that he deserves and heal from his trauma, because it's evident with watching this whole trial that you can see which one is speaking truth and which one is histrionic and creating a narrative. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please put a comment on this one. Tell me if you think I'm on the right track, or you believe what I'm saying, or I actually helped you understand a little bit more about the behavior and the antidepressants and things like that. Love to hear from you guys. I'm really looking forward to becoming a part of the psychology and true crime community, because that's what I'm passionate about. Thank you for joining me. If you're here to the end, I really appreciate it. I'm still a learner, so give me some time and I'll get better at this talking to a camera and not myself. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That was crap. I need to get better at this, don't I? It's so hard to get in front of a camera and like pretend to talk to yourself. Just saying. Next one. Alright. That was crap. Hey guys, thank you for staying to the end. Here is a quick video just to educate you on toxic relationships and what they do. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Makes them vulnerable to emotional outbursts. It also led to weaker connections between various sections of the brain, probably as a result of self-preservation. It also affected their ability to express their emotions or respond in a normal, healthy way. A study by Harvard Medical School found that young adults who were bullied in their childhood had a dearth of connection between the left and the right sides of their brain hemispheres, even though they had no previous experience of physical or sexual abuse. The lack of such connections in the brain leads to hostility, anger, anxiety, dissociation, depression, and even drug abuse. Emotional abuse and neglect, especially during childhood, has many other negative effects on how our brain develops. It reduces the size of corpus callosum, which is associated with impulses, emotions, and arousal. The size of the cerebellum gets decreased, which affects coordination and motor skills. Cortisol levels either become excessively high or low. That has significant negative effects on our health. Excessive activity occurs in the amygdala, which determines our reactions to threats and stressful situations. Are you being emotionally abused? In most cases of abuse, the victim is usually not aware that they are being abused mentally and emotionally. If you believe you are being emotionally abused, here are some common behaviors to look out for. Name calling, humiliation, controlling behavior, aggressive language, invasion of privacy, blame, isolation, shame, unpredictable behavior, subtle threats, gaslighting. Heal yourself with self-love. If you are a victim of emotional abuse, understand that it's not your fault. Abuse is never acceptable. When we experience emotional abuse and maltreatment, our brain functions in different ways to protect itself. This can prevent us from experiencing emotions in a healthy way, even when we're not in a traumatic situation. But you can recover from this, and it is possible to repair the damage. We can learn different cathartic coping mechanisms to create and re-establish neural connections. You can restore and rebuild a healthy mind through different forms of self-care like mindful living, meditation, exercise, art, music, positive conversations, and others. Regardless of how traumatic your experience has been, there is always a way to heal yourself and get better. Have you experienced emotional abuse? Share your story in the comments section down below.